Today I have a little bit different of a video for you. As many of you know, I'm the leader of Elite Force 10, a 10-man by name that runs Massive Attack daily. And when you run Massive Attack, you don't expect to beat very many of them. We usually beat one or two a month, but we've never beat one with Maze, and it's highly unlikely anyone has, as Maze is pretty much 4 hits. Especially a nasty one like this when you've got the extra RLs that are normally lasers here, just making everything a little bit more difficult for you, and definitely more difficult for a standard open and then farm. Fortunately, this was not a shock blaster. That saves you a little bit, but not a lot. So we only had 1 hit to farm this, and we wanted to make sure we got the most points out of it as possible. So I start with a 2-smoke landing. I start with marking this rocket launcher, and that's going to be for Spark. I start with a 2-smoke landing. On my 3rd smoke, I was just a tad late and lost delay, which is a bummer because this was actually a perfect example of a nice 2-smoke landing. Got all 8 boats and the hero boat inside. From there, I just flare straight up. Typically, you'd flare right below this. Well, typically, you would land your flags a little bit to the left, take these 2 shock blasters out, and then move up and take out these rocket launchers, and then move up to this point. But because this is a farm and not necessarily an open, we decided this was our best course of action because we need to save as many girls as possible for the farm. So I get a bunch of shocks out early. I know I'm going to have the time. I thought I was going to be in the range of those shock blasters there. I was not. So once those rocket launchers are down, I flare up and I get my smoke out. As you can see, I did lose some girls here, not a whole ton, and I shocked that shock launcher just to, like I said, keep as many girls alive as possible, and then flare right on it so I don't have to waste any more GBE on it. With the Barrage Damage Tribe, as soon as that shock blaster up there is gone, I decide to, because there's tons of cells and I really have nothing to do with my GBE, try to barrage these out as much as possible. I was on call at the time with some other members of the task force, so they were directing to me as to when I should be flaring and all that type of stuff. So they were letting me know I was getting close to that range. So I flared back up, and as you can see, there's still tons of cells all over in this area that are safe to farm. This is a great example of how barrage can damage weapons differently. So my next barrages are going to be just straight onto this rocket launcher here, and the splash damage will affect those over there. I get that one out with a artillery, which gives me a little bit more space, and 1 more barrage right onto this rocket launcher, knowing the splash damage will kill that side, and saved as many critters as I possibly can. Again, the guys were letting me know I was getting close to my edge of range, so I flared down. And from this point on, I pretty much just I tried to do a shock here and epically missed this left one, which is the more important one. But I just threw as many critters as possible to save as many girls and keep going as long as I can. As you can see, this was a very successful farm. Most people would think that's a 2-hit farm, but really all you'd get with a 2nd hit where it'd be 10 to 15 more cells or weapons. So this turned out the first time I did it this way, and it worked really, really well. Like I've said in the past, it's important to look at the base that you have and make your decisions on that base, not look at it as a standard base. And I think this is a great example of that, once again. So this video is brought to you by myself and Elite Force 10. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope it gave you some insight into kind of what some of the top MA teams are doing in 10-man. Probably won't be able to apply this to your regular daily task force play, but that's okay. It's always fun to see what others are doing. Happy booming, everyone.